Muted. All right, all right. What's up, everybody? Back again with another kind of a late night start time. Sorry about that. I know we're starting about an hour later, but I was at the Alliance football game, as a lot of you know. I tweeted it out earlier. So thank you guys for joining us. I know it's a little bit late, but we had to be live. A lot of wrestling news happened this past week. I'm your host, as always, Tony, and my co-host, the bizarre one, Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's up? It's been a fun night. I hope everyone watched some of that football. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Tony was there live. That was fun.
The game was fun. The game was real fun. I was there live. Had really good seats for it being pretty cheap. $50 tickets for each ticket. And it was I was on the sidelines pretty much. On the visitor sideline, but hey, it was still a good time. I had a real good time there, and it was different type of football, that's for sure. But it ended up being a pretty good game. I mean, I hope it looked good on the TV land. I know you said you were watching. How did it look on TV?
It looked good. I did see part of the other game where they showed it. It looked pretty empty in I think it was Atlanta and Orlando. I'm not sure which one it was, but right. that looked empty. It didn't look full at all. I don't know if anyone else saw that game because for some reason my area, I guess we'll pick up the San Antonio games. It's kind of nice, but yeah. I mean, it was interesting. It looked full. They even said on TV, I believe they had like 25,000 people there. So, I mean, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good little turnout. So we do appreciate everybody coming here late. I know it's not the usual time, but hey, why not? We thought I almost thought about saying, you know what, screw it. We'll kind of just go tomorrow night or maybe just skip it, but I just said, you know what, just go ahead and do it live. Don't matter how many people come in tonight. We'll just do it live anyways, and just, you know, people can check the replay, or if not, they'll just join us up on Tuesday night. So
you can catch us on Twitch too.
Yeah, catch us on Twitch. We have some people over there on Twitch already. So thank you guys.
Yeah, catch our replays on there. Yeah.
Yep, that's very true. There you go, Dave. That's how you do it. What's up, Jody? Yes, you can watch their games on the website as well, said Autumn Bomb. Yes, that is right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to watch it on my phone or like my Xbox. I don't know. It depends how you want to do it, I guess, but yeah.
So we have quite a bit to talk about. We're going to try to cut this show to about an hour. We may go over, who knows, but we're going to try to work out our shows and not try to go them super long, because I know on Tuesday night, surprisingly, I didn't even know this, but when the show was over, we went almost 2.5 hours, and that was the longest Tuesday night show we've done in quite some time. So I knew that we had to cut it down. I know a lot of you guys have to work the next night and aren't going to be able to stay for a whole 2-hour show. So Tuesday nights, we're going to try to cut them down to about an hour as well, maybe an hour and a half, the latest. And Saturday nights, you know, they're going to go as long as we want. Just tonight, I know it's later, so I figure we'll just go for about an hour. It's almost midnight on Dave's side of the town, so we'll just kind of keep it kind of short and sweet tonight. But we do appreciate everybody dropping in and hitting those super hearts as well. Thank you for that. So I'm done rambling on. Let's get to the hot and ready news. Are you ready, Dave?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so obviously the main focus tonight would be All Elite Wrestling making their announcements Thursday night.
Okay, do we want to start there, or do we want to start with the Superstars shakeup and save AEW stuff? Because we can go long on AEW.
No, let's just go AEW first, because with the WWE, there's not a lot to talk about, surprisingly, other than a couple of things, and also the Superstars shakeup. But I figured we'd go with All Elite, kind of get it out of the way, because there is going to be a lot to talk about, like you said. Thank you, Zebra, for the Super Hearts. Really do appreciate that. Now, interesting to say that the speculation is now over. We kind of figured that this man was going to go there anyways, that Kenny Omega signed with All Elite Wrestling. He made the official announcement this past Thursday night, where he showed up at the All Elite rally and basically said that he's going to be there. So he was interviewed by Dave Meltzer when discussing the contract offers he had from the WWE, New Japan, and AEW. Omega actually said some nice things about WWE. He said he praised the WWE for their negotiations with him, and also noted that New Japan actually gave him the least favorable offer between the three companies.
Ouch.
One of the options that I almost went with was to stay full time in New Japan and be a leader. Be a lender talent for AEW. My heart was really in Japan, and I really do look at that place as a home. It's hard to say goodbye to something that you've given everything to. I gave a lot of time and my health to DDT, but in a very different way. Even though it was a shorter period of time, I gave more of my soul to New Japan. To feel like you're walking away from that was really difficult. I wanted to give Harold a chance. I wanted to see how the new presidency and the new regime would handle the company, and in the end, it just for various reasons, it just wasn't the best option. It was actually the worst option. He said whether it be a time investment or financial reasons or creative reasons, there were better options available to me. Maybe the best way to put it is that other two companies were more excited to have me. WWE's offer was fantastic. They went about it in a very professional way. Those guys are nothing but professionals in the way that they dealt with me. But at the end of the day, AEW just couldn't be beat. So basically, he went with AEW because he knew he was going to get the control that he got. He has full creative control. He's the vice president of the company. Yeah. And apparently he signed a 4-year deal as well with AEW. We kind of knew that he was showing up to AEW. Kind of figured that he was going to be signed by them. But what is your thoughts of him actually showing up at the rally and getting what we got at the end, where Jericho comes out and kind of confronts him, and looks like we're going to get Jericho and Kenny Omega 2 at Double or Nothing?
I mean, it's crazy what you were saying about New Japan. I mean, just lowballing him, kind of saying now. It seems like they're going in a different direction now, because it's like they've already made like Jay White like the new Kenny Omega in a way, where he's now the new leader of this new Bullet Club, and he's actually getting a title shot against Tanahashi on Monday. So that'll be interesting. But I mean, it's crazy how that whole thing is switching right now, and now it's like, it was like AJ was leader of the Bullet Club, or not really leader, but whatever. Finn Balor as well, too, or Fergo Devitt. And then Kenny Omega. And now it seems like Jay White. And now we get this. Now he goes to AEW, where they offered him a great deal, where now he's also executive, or he said vice president of AEW, and the rest of his. But that's something that they offered him, and now that's also going to give him probably health insurance, too. Like they said, not everyone can get it, but the people who are working in the office can. So now all these guys, I'm not sure if Paige has any kind of executive role there, but I know the other 4 do now, so that's crazy. I mean, to think that they're all going to be executives in this company, or some big leading role in this company. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, people were complaining, the other fans, out for us being excited about this. And they were mad, then we got a TV deal or nothing like that. And there was no really big matches announced other than that little press conference before. And now we have the matches announced, and Kenny Omega's there. And it's even more exciting to be excited about AEW as of Thursday, after Thursday night, because everything got announced. Wow, I was surprised. And I guess I wasn't surprised, maybe because you think, okay, are they going to do it this quickly and say Kenny Omega's here? It's... And
Adam
so
says Paige doesn't have any control.
What is? Oh, okay, Paige. I got confused for a minute, but okay. It's like, okay, what's Paige gonna do with the show? But okay. Yeah, that's kind of strange though, isn't it? Paige has no control at all. So I mean, that's a little bit of strange. He's the only one.
Yeah, he's the lone wolf, I guess. Now,
I guess
Jeffrey Cross does put in the chat though. Interesting. How many vice presidents do they need? Because it's Cody, it's the Young Bucks, it's Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see if he wasn't offered everything that he was given, as in creative control and the vice president status, if he would still have signed with All Elite Wrestling at the end of the day.
Yeah, because he's also guaranteed life insurance for 4 years. Because Khan said on the X-Pac podcast a while back that the guys, not everyone will be offered, wrestlers won't be all offered life insurance. The people who are going to be working in the office will be. So Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Cody will all be offered life insurance.
Yeah.
Or health insurance, not life insurance, but health insurance. I said life insurance, health insurance. Sorry. Health insurance.
Now, we're going to get, looks like, Kenny Omega and Jericho 2 at the Double or Nothing show.
This
What's
is
up, Juanito?
smart.
Thank you for the super hearts. Do you feel like this is a big enough main event for this show? I know we saw
Yeah,
a
I don't
couple
think
of
it's
other
gonna.
people show
Okay.
up as well, and they also announced another match. But my question for you, Dave, is what's up with no titles being added or even shown or talked about? We're getting matches made, but
Maybe
we
that's the
don't
time.
have we don't have any official title matches left that have been made.
Well, it's just the first show, so maybe it'll take time to get all this. Maybe they're working on it too, and it might take a little longer. But you know what? The matches that seem like they're going to be added, the official one is Pac and Adam Page right now.
Right.
That's the official match, the only one added. But we know it's going to be the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. That's going to happen, and possibly main event the show the way they were talking. And Kenny and
What's up,
Jericho. I mean, that's a
Adrian? How
nice
you doing,
card
man?
right there. I mean, that's
Maybe
a
a
nice
tournament,
three
says
matches on a
Jim.
card. Go ahead.
Question: will these AEW Elite guys just be a copy of WWE's Authority? Just a question. I would hope not. I don't think they would go that route. But it is interesting to see like all the big guys that are involved in with this whole elite wrestling. All elite wrestling is Cody
Well,
Rhodes' friends.
well, you
So
did say, well, not you, but I was listening to what Cody Rhodes on JR's podcast, and he said Khan wants us to be like presented like a sport, not so much like what you see the hokiness and a bunch of more soap opera driven shows.
mhm.
He wants us to be more like presented as a sport and be presented better. That's what wins and losses mattering in this. So that's what I think we'll get titles eventually. And who knows, you could have these other promotions putting their titles on the line in the show. I mean, say the Lucha Brothers, like sorry if you haven't seen Impact, spoiler alert, but they're the tag champions. And let's say the Impact tag titles are on the line, if they're still champions
But
by
wouldn't
then.
that kind of degrade the All Elite company though? Not degrade, but what would be the purpose of that? Because they're their own official company. They should have their own
Yeah.
official titles. They should have tag
Yeah, but
titles. They
maybe
should
for
have a
now,
women. And they should have a world. At least by now, you would think they would have made some type of announcement that they have
yeah.
titles in the works.
Yeah, but there was no titles from. I know All In was just one big super show, but there was title. I don't know if there was title matches at all on that show. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I get what you're saying. You like to see titles, but
Is
maybe it's a work in
is
process.
this a super show like All
I guess
In,
you
or
consider it.
is this considered their first pay-per-view as All Elite Wrestling?
I would think All In would still be considered as the really first, even though it wasn't All Elite was not even in existence yet. But All In to me was like one of their. I think this is like a super show, like you're saying, like a dream match card again. Jericho and Omega. Everyone can see it probably on Fight Network, I'm assuming. And you're gonna see Pac versus Page. You're gonna see Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers. I mean, those are three matches right there. I'm in. I want to see those three matches.
No, I mean you can't deny. Excuse me, the matches that they have pretty much announced already. Probably already has a lot of people saying, give me their money. I want to see this. But
They're going to see how they do too, and this would be the first big. I guess this is their first big pay per view that would be going. How much can they make off this pay per view doing it like this? I mean, do they go strictly to pay per views for a while till they actually secure a TV deal? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I understand what you're saying. I mean, there's no title matches. It's like almost a glorified like all-star show, where it's just like a bunch of stars coming in.
To me, it's like another
All
super
in.
show. Yeah, it's
Yeah, like all in with no title matches, just some dream matchups that you would see from different stars, which is cool. Because we used to see shows like this back in the 80s and stuff when they would have different promotions and territories come together and do these big super shows and stuff like that, which is really cool. I mean, because you get Pac is from Dragon Gate, Lucha Brothers are from Impact, MLW, everywhere else, I want to say. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
Bobaruski.
I mean, it's going to be fun to see what happens. I don't have no problem with them not having no titles right now because it's like, okay, I see what they're doing because they're taking time. And who's to say you couldn't have, like, Pac defending his title against Page at the show, which obviously they probably wouldn't win, or he wouldn't win, I should say. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how this is booked, too, because are you going to watch a show and, oh, what the Bucks they just booked themselves to beat the Lucha Brothers on their own show. I mean, that would be what kind of people. Yeah.
To me, I don't really like, and I know the Young Bucks have done booking in the past, and they've done this stuff for, I believe I saw Bob Aruski tweet out for PWG that they were booking their title matches or tag team matches over there, but it seems like, look, they're going to be main eventing again, it seems like, because they already said, how about a tag team match, main event, a pay-per-view? And it's like, oh, well, y'all just main evented All In. Why would you guys need to main event back-to-back shows? Why not have the guy that was the hottest free agent on the market who just signed with you guys be the main event, which is Kenny Omega?
Yeah, I get that, but I think they want to go the route of tag team wrestling. That's what they're going after. The fans who want to see tag team wrestling again, when you see what's happening on Mondays and Tuesdays, the tag wrestling isn't that great. It's just tag team wrestling just really is kind of a lost art. Now, I'll give it to LAX and the Lucha Bros. They've been killing it when they're doing their matches, but it's different style. So it's interesting to see what happens with that. And it's fun, I think. I'm glad to see them doing this, but on the other hand, they are the bookers, and I mean, it would seem kind of like, okay, you're booking yourselves in the main event again. Right. What, you're going to just beat them?
Yeah, and that's how I feel like it is to me. And I'm not trying to dog AEW already, but it just kind of has like a funky smell to it that you're having the Young Bucks.
I mean, if anything, they should
division. You have Cody Rhodes looking over it, because once these guys start winning titles, once Rhodes maybe wins the world title, and Young Bucks, and then maybe Paige.
Yeah, you have to be on the show.
Questioning what's the motive here. What's up?
Yeah, Cody's going to have to be on this show too.
Right.
So it's like, what are they going to do with him?
They're going to be setting something up for Cody Rhodes to do. Because right now we have 4 executive vice presidents. We have Cody Rhodes, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega. The head of talent relations is Christopher Daniels. Chief brand officer and talent scout is Brandy Rose.
I don't have a problem with that.
But she's also a wrestler.
Is she really a wrestler, though?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen some of her matches?
Well, she's in the female roster column here.
Oh, she is? Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that. I thought she was just, looking for talent. I mean, they have said, even Khan said that she is qualified for this. She went to school and all that and has for this type of job, so. But, I mean, it's interesting. Is she going to be, or are they just all going to be everyone who's a part of the elite, just all be the champions? Or Kenny Omega's going to be champion, Cody's going to be champion, and the Young Bucks, and Paige, they're all just going to have all these titles? Is that what they're going to do with the show? I mean, it's going to be interesting. If anything, in the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers match, honestly, the Young Bucks should lose.
They should, right? Because right now, the Lucha Brothers are the hottest team on the
no question
on the planet right now. I would even say they're hotter than the Young Bucks, as in better tag team at the moment. And the match that everybody wants to see is obviously the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, you're not sure it's Sabu and RVD?
Oh, God. Now, if Adam Bomb makes a good point in the chat saying, here's a better question, why wouldn't they book a dream match as the main event? And I can see that to where, any other show or any show that I should say that is a wrestling show independently, Impact, maybe WWE. If this match was going to be on a pay-per-view card, I don't think anybody would complain that it's the main event of the show. It just seems kind of weird that they're main eventing again, Oh, you want to see us main event again and again and again? That's what it seems like is going to happen. That all we're going to see are people like Omega and Jacksons and Rhodes main event these pay-per-views. And I don't hope we see that. I hope we see newer, fresh faces getting pulled up. Pac's on the show, but it looks like they're not going to be the main event. Why not, add a title? When are they going to add titles is my question.
It would probably be more or less, I would assume they would want to add titles once they have a TV deal, and do it on there. Wouldn't you rather have your titles debuted on your TV show once you have that deal secured, or already have titles made and set for a TV show? I mean, it depends how you look at it. Because usually that's a cool way to do, okay, we're going to do a tournament to determine who's going to be the world champion on our first show, type stuff like that.
Right.
But if you'd rather see it now, I mean, I guess that is it is what it is. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who's all working with AEW going forward, though, because it'll be interesting to see if now if the Young Bucks show up. I said this last night on our watch along for Impact. Or wait, today's Saturday. It was last night. Okay, I was confused what day they came on. But yeah, I said that watch out for next Friday because Impact's filming or doing their tapings in Vegas, and I know Cody's already gone home, but would not be surprised if we hear the Young Bucks showed up in one of these tapings.
Right,
I would not be surprised
I agree
at
with
all.
you. Now, I agree with you 100% on that. That there's going to be titles because you can't tell me, and I know there's a lot of people that do not already like AEW, and there's always that one when you mention AEW, do they have a TV deal yet? That's the one thing that always is brought up when you're mentioning AEW. And my question and my comment to that is this. Would you think that a lot of these mainstream wrestlers, like an Omega, like the Lucha Brothers, like a Pac, or, even some of these other guys that they signed, you don't think they would throw out this type of money towards these certain wrestlers if they did not have something already in line? I think they wouldn't have gone all out like they have already if they already have something in mind. Maybe they don't want to make an announcement yet. Maybe they have a deal, but they're waiting for the right moment to make the announcement. Maybe at the pay-per-view they make the announcement.
Yeah, I mean, and the rumor is that, I think it was from Meltzer or somebody like him, said, that they have multiple TV deal offers, and there hasn't been these are the type of offers they're getting are like no other company has got these kind of offers other than WWE. So, I mean, the kind of deals that they're getting right now, and there's multiple TV networks that, what I've been hearing, there's multiple TV networks that want them. Probably WGN, possibly TNT. I don't know how I feel about that, but because how they always delayed Nitro during games and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with that during playoff season if that happens. But or do they want to go to a network that won't delay them at all for anything? So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like I assume they have a network deal. I mean, it's the cons. I'm sure they can call up. Who knows? They could end up on Access TV like New Japan and the other ones. Who knows? But which I don't think is a good TV deal, honestly, because Access TV it's nice to have, but you're not getting a bunch of good ratings off of that network.
Right, and like you said that maybe, or that we mentioned on the show that maybe at All In they're gonna say, hey, we have one big old huge announcement, and boom, it's going to be that we're
a double
live.
or nothing or All In.
The Double or Nothing show, which is basically All In too. For now,
I think they're good. I think they're gonna do All In too.
I don't know. I think to me this feels like this is All In Deuce. That
okay.
Because when was All In actually? It was in September.
September,
correct?
Yeah.
So you think they'll have this show, which is in May, I believe, right?
Yep.
And then have another show in September.
Yeah, I could see that, and then announce it at the All In to announce what's going on then, and even have titles by then. Because really, they're only like a little over a month old. This whole company was announced as being, even though they've been working on it, but really this company is only a month old, if you think about it. So, I mean, maybe 2 months old. Well, yeah, still a month. It's still early February, but yeah, it's only a little over a month old. So,
Thank
I mean, if you went to May,
hearts, man. Appreciate that.
And then, June, July, August, September, that's 4 months later you do another show? I mean, that's no different than how New Japan does a lot of times, too.
Right. Adam Baum is saying that All In is a ROH product for some reason. Really? I had no idea.
I don't think All In's an ROH product.
Jacksonville will be the All In 2 event. It's basically in AEW's backyard. Any truth, AMC has given them an offer with network plus theater options. I've heard what?
I never heard about that.
I've never even heard about that, but that'd be interesting because it seems like right now
it would be an interesting place because they're a big network.
WWE, excuse me, AEW right now is the talk of the town. And they're definitely the flavor of the month right now. Everybody wants to either join them or be some type of a part of them in some type of way. So I'm sure they are getting TV deals and TV offers, and maybe they don't know which one to take yet. I'm just surprised, honestly, that they've been a company for a little bit. We'll just say a little bit over 2 months now, officially, and they haven't made any other progress. I know they're doing it slowly, and they may not want to throw everything out there all at once. But I am surprised that they haven't mentioned anything about titles or what titles will be, or what kind of titles, how they will, how people will earn the titles and stuff like that, or even title shots. They haven't mentioned any of that.
Yeah, I mean, they could also be waiting to get more of a roster too, and way more working relationships with other companies. Because right now we know they got the what is that OWE or whatever it was called.
Yeah, they're working with a lot of other companies at the moment.
And so that's going to help them be able to use other rosters too, I think, like how MLW and Impact share rosters a little bit. If they can share rosters with other companies, you have other champions coming into your like territories. You have different champions coming into your territories to kind of help you in a way, because then you can build up your own titles. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know if the NWA is going to be working with them at all. Could we see Cody and Aldis again? I mean, that would be interesting.
You're stuck on the title situation. May 25th is a date to remember for a reason. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
I don't think it's a big deal about the titles yet because it'll be their first show as AEW. So
right, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I'm just making a bigger deal out of nothing. So
no, but you would like to see it. I understand your point because you would just like to see AEW. Like, okay, it's the show. I want to see titles because otherwise, all these matches really mean nothing. They're just glorified matches to have matches. And because what's really the big point?
Hester says in the chat, I don't think AEW will be taken seriously until a major current WWE star signs with them. Ambrose ?
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think they need a major WWE star.
What is it? What is your definition of taken seriously? As in, they're not going to make it very long, or they'll be a true competitor towards WWE? Because I don't see them off the bat being a straight up competitor with the WWE. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to watch them just because people hate the WWE or whatever have you.
I think they are being taken seriously now.
To me, if I'm the WWE, casual fans paying attention. That I agree with. Casual fans may not know much about All Elite Wrestling. That I'll agree with. It's the more hardcore fans, as like us who do these shows and who come in the chat room and chat with us. I agree with you on that. Now
you're gonna get those fans because you're gonna get those fans who are like, oh, Chris Jericho. Like, come on, most fans know who Chris Jericho is. Most fans might even know who Adrian Neville is. You remember Neville? Because he's Pac now. He's not, they know who he is, and that's why you use these guys to kind of draw them in to see the other talent. Oh, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. I don't got to order New Japan World to get it. Okay, so you can see Chris Jericho, and that might draw you. That's what you do that's what WCW used to do. They would draw you in for Hogan and Savage in the main event. Then you would have all these other guys there, like the Cruiserweights, who would be stealing the show, and that's what would get you kind of hooked on it. And that's what I think AEW is trying to do with some of the big names, like a Jericho. He's going to draw some people in. Like, he drew me into New Japan before last year. Yeah, last year, I think, anyway. But, yeah, last year with New Japan, and I started really getting into some of these other guys, and like, wow, this is really fun. These guys are good. And that's what it'll do, I think. A guy like Jericho or Neville will draw people in.
Yeah, that's a good point, and it's going to be interesting to see who they go after next, because there's already been, AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, of course, is the big one right now, since we all know he's leaving soon. And then there was another newsworthy speculation or rumor that came out this week about a certain wrestler in the WWE, and that was mentioned by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, that revealed that Orton was interested in talking with AEW, but this does not mean that they have any contract has been signed or anything like that. What was said was, I was told this afternoon that Randy Orton has been openly discussing his willingness to speak with All Elite Wrestling. Sapp said that he doesn't know exactly if AEW offered him a contract, but when reached out to AEW, they told him that they are not tampering with WWE talent or their contracts. Just could be an attempt from Orton's agent to get him more money from the WWE.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. That's what it is, Orton. He's trying to get more money.
Sean Ross
that's
also
all.
said that he's not saying Orton got an offer or that Randy is talking with him. A source that has given Sean good news in the past said that he'd be willing to talk to AEW.
Yeah, you know Orton wants this leaked out there, so WWE hates it. Yeah, that's the only reason. He wants more money.
Speeds. Let's see. We'll go back. Most fans know who Hulk Hogan is. It didn't help with Impact, if you remember. Yeah, that's true. That is very. It helped. It helped with Impact for like a month, maybe.
It helped with their ratings. I mean, they had better ratings.
And then it just went downhill after that.
Yeah, it did, but they did have better ratings when Hogan was there. I mean, you can't deny the ratings. The ratings were better when Hogan and Bischoff were there, as much as people hated it.
Right. So now this is what's going to happen, everybody, and get ready. And like Bob Ruski says in the chat, we're going to see a lot more of these rumors come around. When WWE wrestlers' contract are close to being done with, you're going to hear this type of stuff going around town. That they're willing to take offers, that they're willing to leave for them, because in the long run, if WWE feels like they'll be a threat to them when they leave, then they're going to offer them more money. And this is definitely, I think, a trick, or this is definitely his agent playing the WWE, saying that, hey, you're one of your big guys, a apparent lifer would leave for the right price. And there's no way in hell that WWE is going to let Randy Orton leave. I just don't see that happening. No way. No.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if he's not happy in his position too, but yeah. I mean, it's really exciting though, because right now it kind of feels like we're in like a free agency frenzy with the wrestling, Because all these guys come to AEW, and AEW is the first really wrestling promotion to come in and seem like this is like the new WCW when they came in and started just basically rating Vince's talent. And that's what I'm not saying they're going to do that, but I'm just saying that's what it seems like.
Do that. I feel like they're going to go after the big guns. I just feel like you can't tell me if they know when certain wrestlers' contracts are up that they wouldn't go hard. You can't tell me if Rollins' contract's coming up, they won't go after Rollins, or they won't go after, at least attempt to go after maybe like a Roman Reigns. Or someone like that, like a big-time guy to add to their company. There's no way. I mean, it's a competition. I mean,
I'm not saying they won't. Yeah, I'm not saying they wouldn't try. Yeah, and that's what's supposed to get fun right now because, we're trying to get all these guys to come to our show now. And this is the first time this has happened in years where Vince had to worry about another company really being able to offer someone more money than he can.
Right.
I'm not saying he can't offer him big money, but I'm just saying it's like, man, it's really exciting to think about because this is making wrestling kind of fun again right now when it's really been kind of lacking in the kind of the funness of wrestling again. I mean, hell, I know it won't be the same as the Monday Night Wars simply because they'll be on 2 different nights, but man, it's fun to see what AEW can do. And it's smart not to want to go head-to-head with Monday Night Raw because you probably won't win.
Yeah, you won't win. Yes, a lot of people hate the WWE, but you're not going to beat them on Monday nights, at least not yet. You can try, but you're going to probably end up failing. And it hasn't worked with anybody else that has tried to compete with the machine that is the WWE. But
no one's really tried either. Well, you got Khan backing them, the Khan family.
But here's the thing, and I don't know if it was Spees who mentioned it on his show, but I just don't feel like it would be stupid of Khan to throw all this money out there. And if I'm Khan, wouldn't you be kind of worried that, you're going to spend all this money and you don't want to be like the WCW where you spend all this money and then you end up bankrupt?
Well, that's why you're doing this pay-per-view like this first. Okay, what kind of money can you make? What kind of money are you going to draw for this pay-per-view Double or Nothing? And that'll be, that'll show you. I heard his dad put in a lot of money for this too, and so it's like, man, what was it, like $100 million or whatever he put in for this? How it could be wrong, but I heard something like a big number that his dad put in. So it's like, man, but I think they have a plan, and that's what they're doing. I don't think.
Go ahead. No, finish. I was going to say the full roster. for
Okay,
so far.
I was just gonna say really quick. I mean, I think what they want to do, they don't want to overspend and start going after all these big WWE guys who leave or might be leaving. And if you go after some names, I get that. But if you go after the Cody's even said this. I don't know if it's true or not. I could just been saying it, but said they want to go after some of the younger guys too. They don't want to just go after these big WE guys who just get released. We're going to get every guy who gets released just to grab those names. They want to go after the younger guys who aren't well known and bring those guys in and put them in spotlights. Go ahead.
So here's official roster so far for AEW. Some of these people I do not know much about. I'm sure Cody Young Bucks have some bucks saved in the bank, pun intended.
Yeah, but it's not about them.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's more about Khan, I'm sure. But I wonder if Cody and the Bucks have any financial doings in this. If they throw some of their money around. I doubt it. Look at how Jacksonville Jags have been run failure. Just like, oh wow, Legend Brian saying AEW is going to be a failure. Okay, all right. We'll see, and time will tell. Time will tell. All right. So far, the official roster announcement for All Elite is Cody Rhodes, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Adam Page, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, MJF, Pac, Chimp Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Jimmy Havoc, Sammy Guevara, Joey Janela, Jungle Boy, Sunny Kiss, Sima. The female wrestlers are Brandy Rhodes, Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, Aja Khan, Yuka Sakazaki. Try to say that 3 times fast. Kylie Ray and Nyla Rose. We have the broadcast team of Alex Marvez, Excalibur. Got Billy Gunn as a producer, BJ Whitmer as a producer,
wow.
Shad Khan as the owner, Tony Khan as president and chief executive order, and that's all they really have on here. So the interesting thing is that Nyla Rose is a transgender female wrestler. Your thoughts on that? Are you thrown off of that? Because when I saw her show up on AEW, I'm not going to lie. I was going to say in the chat room on Periscope that looks like a man because she did. And I didn't want to be rude about it because I wasn't sure or not, but I found out that she is a transgender women wrestler. And that's pretty cool that they would hire someone like that because they have a variety of different type of characters and different type of people.
Well, isn't Sunny Kiss also either a transgender character too?
No, she's openly gay. That's it.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay, because I see even Mia Yim tweet about Sunny's Kiss or whatever his name is about how she was happy for them.
Right, he's an openly gay wrestler, kind of like I guess Orlando Jordan, I guess in that type of a way.
I don't think he was gay though, was he?
He was gay. He was just not open. I don't know if he announced it to the world, but I know he was gay. I think he was gay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I could be wrong
I didn't know
about that. But
I thought it was just the character he was doing an Impact. So yeah, hey, whatever. But yeah, I mean, hey, it's not a big roster, and that's probably why they're doing some of these other working relationships with these other companies.
Do you think that eventually AEW will stop working with these other companies and just be their own selves?
I don't know. I mean, because they said they're not there to kind of take over other people's rosters, or they're just there to be another part of this huge pond in the Indies right now. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be the biggest pond probably next to WE.
Oh, did we just lose Dave? Oh, you there, Dave?
What? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you just kind of you broke up a little. Him and TNA, yeah, he suggested that himself. Yeah, I thought he was gay. I thought Orlando Jordan was gay or bisexual, one of the two. Do you see this working with AEW? This could definitely be newsworthy material for them, hiring a gay wrestler or a transgender wrestler. This could be good pub for them.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to say. I mean, WWE has done this, so I mean, they had what's-his-face there for a minute, and Patterson is openly gay.
No, but do you think WWE would sign a transgender women's wrestler?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because you're saying because they would be facing the females.
Right. And
I don't know.
Bobrowski said, when they said it's for everyone, they fucking meant it. Yeah, I mean, you got gay people, you got transgenders, you got Chinese, you got Japanese, you got Mexicans, you got African Americans, you got white people. There's a whole diverse in it's for everyone basically. They've been saying, they have
I mean,
everyone
it's
on the
interesting.
roster. Everyone can relate to someone on that roster. I don't
I mean,
think
does it
WWE.
bother me? No.
No,
I
I wouldn't.
mean, but
No, but I don't think WWE would do that. I don't think they would sign a openly transgender wrestler.
probably not. Probably they probably wouldn't. You're right, but I mean, I don't know. But I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care what they do or what their lifestyle is. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It is because the world we're in right now, and to see transgender or whatever you don't identify with anything, then whatever. I mean, that's how a lot of it is too now, where you're just what is it, a pansexual, I think, where you just don't identify with any gender at all. So, I mean, I could definitely see that becoming more of a thing now because it seems like it would be. I mean, look at
What's up, BJ? How you
what's
doing?
his face of Ring of Honor. I mean, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. What is his name in Ring of Honor? I'm drawing a blank now. With the boys. The boys, what's his name?
Oh, God. Dalton Castle?
Yeah, look at his character. I mean, I'm not saying it's a gay character, but it does come off with those kind of elements to it,
Character. Definitely.
It comes off with those kind of elements, though. He has these boys, So he does come off like he might be a gay or a bi character. And that's to me as close to that as Tyler Breeze would ever be in the W because he comes off. To me they're very similar characters, but the W. What's that?
No, he said if it would improve their public image, WWE would sign Hitler. That's funny. Probably. Now they did announce last Thursday that they have made a new partnership with AAA. Kind of what Impact has right now as well. A little bit of a partnership with them as well.
Conan.
Yeah, Conan, of course.
He's the booker.
Man, it's interesting to see what All Elite actually does end up doing. If they're actually a legit competitor, what TV deal they get, what night they'll be on. There's a lot of questions regarding AEW. Right now, they got I would say, if you were going to look at their roster and gave like a prediction just by roster alone, you would have to think that they'd be pretty successful because they have a lot of these wrestling fans' favorites on the roster.
Okay, now do people think with this roster they have, or if they do get a huge TV deal, and with who's backing them? I mean, do they worry about going out of business and making everything just exclusive wrestlers to only them, and that's it? Could that be a mistake? Because we can hurt ourselves like this if we're not paying everyone these huge exclusive deals. Maybe that's why they're working with all these other companies, because if they do have their own network and they are using other talent and they're not paying them fully big, huge exclusive contracts, then it doesn't really hurt them that as much, Maybe that's a lot of WCW's mistake too, where they want those blank checks, like, here, take this, I mean, so this could actually benefit them, maybe not losing a lot of money right away by only signing a few people to exclusive deals like a Chris Jericho, a Kenny Omega, and the Bucks, where they'll mostly just work for AEW and that's it.
Right.
So, I mean, if they did have exclusive deals and on their own a big network, I mean, it could hurt them too if they did it like that. Maybe that's why we're seeing these partnerships, so we're not paying full deals, but I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think they need to have exclusive deals with everyone, or would the other way?
Not exclusive deals, but I do eventually think that they need to stop partnering up with these other organizations. Because if they're going to be the legit second company in America, I think they have to be, just AEW, not AEW featuring AAA, AEW featuring what's the other? I forgot what's the other organization they're partnering
OEW
with.
Or whatever.
Yeah, OEW. So I just feel like they need to be their own company, not.
But don't you think that helps
other
them?
people as well? Yeah, sure, it helps them, and
you're bringing fresh faces.
Right, but You guys have spent. Yeah, we're gonna move on AEW. I just feel like
Yeah, we have talked a while about this.
I just there's a lot more questions still be asked with AEW, but a huge signing with Kenny Omega and a huge signing with the Lucha Brothers, seeing that they're gonna possibly face the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing. So also everybody, we got some other tidbits to talk about. I know we talked about Impact Wrestling last night, but we do have new Impact Wrestling champions. I'm sorry, tag team champions with the Lucha Brothers who beat LAX in the main event last night. A pretty solid Impact Wrestling.
One match.
Yeah, for the most part. What did you think
And most
of
it,
Lucha Brothers winning the tag team titles last night? Because I know we didn't really go in depth on it last night.
I thought it was. I kind of knew it was happening, but it was still fun to watch the match. Like even you said last night, you're like, yeah, the match is okay. It wasn't as good as the first one, but that's probably why, because we've seen a lot of these same spots already.
Right.
So it's like I compared it to like I think that's what this was. I think I compared this to like a dunk contest where it was like once someone does it over and over again, you've seen the same stuff. It gets kind of done, a little bit. But I still enjoyed the match for what it was, and that was the one match I was looking forward to throughout the whole week. And Pentagon didn't help when he tweets out a picture. His new profile picture is him holding the Impact Tag titles. So that doesn't really help us.
Yeah,
I hate that, but
why would you do that, Pentagon? Nah, not a very smart move there, buddy.
Yeah, I was afraid they were gonna. You know what I was scared of? I was like, crap. Are they gonna announce like? Are they gonna come out with the Impact Tag titles? Or are they gonna like say, "Here comes the Impact Tag Champions" or something like that? I mean, I was like, please don't.
The Trey Miguel and Raju match.
You love that match.
I didn't really care for it too much. I get it. Miguel right now seems to be Impact's new up and comer that they're really pushing out of the three of them. I just felt like that match went way too long. That match and what was the other match that went really long, Dave?
Callahan
and Puma King or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
That match went so damn long, it just to the point where I just kind of lost interest in the matches. I would have rather have seen Miguel face someone else than Raju. I'm not a real big fan of Raju and the Desi Hit Squad. I just felt like a lot of the matches went way too long, and they didn't fit a lot on the show. Those matches took the majority of the show.
I think that was on purpose though too, because and by design, I guess I was looking for, but because that was probably the second or third day of a taping, and they have big matches coming up, so they're trying to use it something to fill a lot of time. Maybe you could have done a better way to do it, because you had the opening match, you had OVE versus Willie Mack and Swan, which was a really good match too. And I thought that was another good match. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of this is just to fill time because they're finishing up another tape. I think next week is their last taping in Mexico. I hope it is anyway. I could be wrong, but I hope it's the last Mexico taping, because then there'll be the Vegas tapings next Friday. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think Vegas, so far, in my opinion, I could be wrong, Vegas has been their best shows that they've done. And so I'm interested to see that. And, yeah, it's just, I think those matches went long by design because they were just trying to kill time. That's why they made them like 15, 20-minute matches, just to kill the 2 hours.
Yeah, it was those matches were just super long. But yeah, Impact to me, back-to-back weeks.
Better main event though than last week.
Better main event, but that's not saying very much. I just thought Impact could have been a lot better these last couple of weeks, and you can tell by the viewage, it's really dropped these last couple of weeks. It hasn't been as popular. I know the first night it hit over 10,000, almost 12,000 views. It helped being on the home page of Twitch. I know that. And I know there's a new game out and everybody's been twitching it and streaming it, but it just seems like back-to-back weeks with Impact getting only 5,000 viewers. If I'm Impact, I'd be a little bit worried.
Now, do you think? Yeah, I would too. I mean, we'll see what happens if the world title match.
Now, next week is if they only get about 5,000 views next week when they have pretty much a pay-per-view on Impact where you got the women's title on the line, you have the world title match on the line,
Fatal 4-Way or whatever you want to call it,
and then the women's match is, I believe, a street fight if I'm not mistaken. So You have two big matches on your show next week.
And plus, you have Scarlett debuting, I believe,
Scarlett
next week.
debuting, I believe, as well. It could be the week after that. I'm not sure. They were number 8 on the live channel of the Twitch front page. Yeah, I can understand that. But to me, I feel like for a wrestling show, live, live in quotations, of course.
Yeah.
They should be getting a lot more viewers than that. At least averaging at least 10,000.
Yeah, I agree. Now, let me ask you this, and other people in the chat can answer this too. Do you guys think that 5K is roughly about what the fans, is the niche audience of Impact has right now? About 5K? I mean, I do too. That's what I was like, is this like their niche audience, like 5K? It's still a good number to have showing up watching the show each week, but I mean, who knows? This is probably why they want these subscribers, because they need to make some money, and they basically need us fans to basically bankroll them almost. Just to make a profit in a way. Because if they have 5,000 fans and all of them, I'm not saying all of them are subscribers, but if a good portion of them are, then that could probably help them.
Yeah, I just feel like, they could do a lot better on Impact, on Twitch, that is, because we saw what they did the first night. I know it was the big, pretty much release party of them being on Twitch. I get
people were interested.
And I'm not sure what it was in the following week because I didn't watch it. I know you guys are saying that it was pretty solid viewage.
I think that was the Killer Cross title match that I think it was. I can't remember, though.
And then after that, back-to-back weeks of 5,000 viewers. So if they only average 5,000 next week as well for a world title match and a women's title match, Impact should be a little bit kind of worried that they're not.
Yeah, they should get a big viewage next week.
And also, they're trying to hit this, subscriber goal as well.
I don't know how many subscribers they have. If you can ever find out how many subscribers they have, I don't know. But I mean, I would think with this being like some kind of pay-per-view, and look, even on TV sometimes when they had sometimes these shows would be really bad in ratings. But when they would do these pay-per-view specials, they would always do better. So I would hope that with Tessa Blanchard returning, is that going to be a street fight you're saying for that title then?
Yes, that's the women's title of the street fight.
So, I mean, I would assume that would bring in some viewership with Tessa Blanchard returning, and then you're going to have a 4-way for the world title. So you would assume that would draw some kind of interest.
Right.
A world title match. And I'm not sure what else is on that card. I can't remember if there's another women's match or if there's something else going on. I can't remember, but it's going to be interesting. Next week is really going to be really interesting.
The majority of the wrestling viewers at AAA has around 2,000. I have to wait till.
Also, we got that World Cup next week. That's what it is.
Yeah, so Impact next week, it has a pretty solid show, in my opinion, with the 2 title matches, Scarlett debuting, and then we got the World Cup match or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of stuck though, where it's like each week they gotta bring out one big, you gotta announce at least one match to get us interested to tune in. Like, when's the last time Rich Swann has defended the X Division title?
Well, has he defended it at all? Week, Sami Callihan is supposed to reveal something
big dirty laundry.
Something about him. Then maybe
when's the last match? I can't remember the last time he defended that title. I mean, was it at the pay-per-view when he won it? I don't know if he defended it once. Maybe he has. I just can't remember. But you would think you would want to focus like him, make that like the week title that's defended every single week on Impact, so you can draw more interest to it, and make it a bigger deal title.
Right.
Instead, I mean, it seems like it's kind of.
Hey everybody, sorry about that. We are back live again. Not sure what the deal was there. OBS just failed us. Haven't had a failure like that in a while. Thanks, OBS, for dropping like that. Sorry about everybody. OBS dropped. Was able to get right back up. So sorry about that. Apologies. Touching on Impact. But any last thoughts on Impact so we can move on to WWE and to Raw? Because there were some announcements made for Raw this Monday night. And I'm sure a lot of people are interested. Yeah. But sorry about that. OBS dropped, everybody. My apologies.
I mean, they should do about 10K next week at the very least with Impact, and I hope they do good. And we'll continue to co-stream next week too. And
co-streaming. Like I said, I was gonna take the week off. I was like, let's take a week off. Let's enjoy a Friday night without doing some co-streaming. But then they announced the Big O show, And I was like, we gotta watch it.
And also, one more thing we have to touch on. They announced this Twitch special.
Right. All United We Stand, which is what, April 4th? It's the week of WrestleMania.
And it's a Thursday.
Thank you, Kenobi, for the Super Heart. So it's the week of WrestleMania.
It's a Thursday.
They're having a huge tag match, everybody. Are you ready to hear this huge tag match?
It's at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to be doing a co-stream on that. I got to work early the next morning. But the huge tag match, everybody, that they were hyping up. They were saying this is a dream tag match that they said also on the show. But they also said there was going to be a former world champion showing up. And we've been hearing that Callahan and Austin Aries been going at it on Twitter. They've been like going at it, like breaking the fourth wall, calling each other by their real names, fuck you, asshole, all this bullshit. So speculation was, maybe Austin Aries is going to show back up, and
Dan the Banana Man,
and we're going to see them go at it. Maybe no, it's better than that, folks. Rob Van Dam was announced to be showing up at the United We Stand. But not only that, I mean, the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, was his tag team partner that they announced. No, it's not Bully Ray. No, it's not Tommy Dreamer, not Mick Foley. It's fucking Sabu. The guy that can barely fucking walk, probably can barely wrestle anymore, as his tag team partner to take on the Lucha Brothers. Or excuse me, the Lucha Bros. I cannot be any less excited for this match, Dave. Seriously. And I'm trying to be positive towards Impact Wrestling, you know? But goddamn. Sabu? What the fuck?
Would you really want Mick Foley, though?
I'd rather see Mick Foley than Sabu, for God's sakes.
Mick Foley can barely walk.
Did Sabu just have, like, a big surgery done this past week? Or not, this past, like, year or two ago? Even had a GoFundMe to, like, fund his surgery. I could be thinking maybe of another wrestler. But this guy should not be in the wrestling ring. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because you look at it like fans just paid for you to get the surgery taken care of, hopefully, and now you're going to go out there and
probably fuck yourself up against guys that are very stiff in the ring, as in Pentagon and Phoenix. We almost saw Phoenix die on Friday night, where he did a dive outside the ring and almost missed his whole opponent.
They friggin' skipped, the friggin' apron, yeah.
Speaking of Phoenix as well, I don't know if you saw this, but at a live event, he was stretchered out of a match.
Oh, really?
Apparently got injured as well. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Not sure if it was anything major. I think the owner of the company he was wrestling at said that he'll be fine, but he just needs to maybe take it easy, take a couple of days off or something like that. The spot that they showed him actually getting hurt didn't even look anything
I think you were talking about it last night. Yeah, you said he like dove in the crowd and hit some fans or whatever.
No, that was a couple of weeks back where he did a dive outside the ring, totally missed the wrestler and dove outside of the ring to the crowd and took out a fan. But yeah, apparently he was taken out on a stretcher, but he wasn't. Doesn't look like he was seriously injured. You might be thinking of someone else. Sabu generally wrestles though through injuries. I think he needed like hip replacement surgery.
Yeah, he had some kind of surgery. Yeah, because I remember Taz even talking about like, hey, help him out because if you ever watched him or enjoyed his stuff. See, I lost respect for Sabu when him and New Jack started doing all these stupid jokes about Brian Christopher when he died. I lost tons of respect for those guys after all that. I think it's cool if Impact can figure a way to bring in RVD. Possibly that would be a huge get for them.
Yeah, RVD. Cool. You know, I get it. He's a little bit not. Could we say he's a little bit past his prime?
Yeah, but he would be a good name to bring in for Impact.
Get a lot of fresh matches, at least with RVD, and it would be a name that a lot of wrestling fans are familiar with. Could bring in some wrestling fans to the show as well.
Then Don's relationship with a lot of these guys.
Did you say there was another match as well on that show? Or did I miss something?
I don't know about the United We Stand. I have no clue.
It's the match I know. Smart Spot? How you doing tonight, dude? Again, thank you everybody for joining us on this late edition. Sorry about the technical issues we just had with the OBS is dropping out of nowhere. I'm sure Speeds knows all about that. So right now, we got Double or Nothing. We got United We Stand. We got what was the pay-per-view that they're having, Dave?
Rebellion.
Rebellion coming up soon.
See, I got confused because I thought United We Stand was this other pay-per-view of theirs. I was like, huh?
Hey, I would rather see RVD tag with Silky than I would him tag with Sabu. That is 100, and I'm sure Speeds can agree with you, with everyone on that as well. You see me guys sporting the almighty Bobby Lashley shirt tonight.
Oh, when did you get that?
I got this past week. So representing Leo Rush and the Bobby Lashley. Last night on Impact show, I was wearing my Street Profits hoodie as well.
I seen a GIF on Twitter tonight where it shows Finn Balor giving Leo Rush the coup de grace like over and over.
Oh well, they need to delete that GIF, man. If you're not a supporter of Bobby Lashley, the Almighty yet, then you need to jump on the bandwagon because there's plenty of room over here on the Bobby Lashley bandwagon.
Hey, do people like seeing Melissa Santos in Impact?
Oh, I'm sure everybody likes to see Melissa Santos in Impact. Oh, you can see the chat again, Jody? Hey, look at this. I am so excited. Finally, man. Jody was having issues not seeing the chat on Periscope. I'm glad she's able to see the chat. She had to go and suffer over on our Twitch channel, not being able to chat with everybody.
Hey, there's no suffering. There's no suffering on Twitch. Twitch is a great place to interact.
Yes, and we do appreciate everybody who watches our Twitch channel. We just wish everybody who watched would remember to fucking follow. God damn it. Follow
us on Twitch.
I'm surprised you didn't wear the Street Profits shirt again. Don't tip me, DX. Don't tip me. Yeah, I went out on the WWE. I know you guys are not big WWE fans, and you may not like to support their merchandise, but they have some great-ass deals on that show, man. Yeah. On that website. Sometimes they have 40, 50, 60% off, buy one, get one free. They go all out on the WWE.com. You see them on the Raw commercials. I would definitely check that out.
And you can even go to the clearance section.
Over a week now, Mike, and you can really? That sucks.
You can even go to their clearance section, and you can find a bunch of great deals on shirts and stuff there.
Yeah, you can probably find a lot of Undertaker shirts, because another big news that hit the...
About AEW and Undertaker?
Oh, my God. Undertaker took off WWE out of his title, everybody, and apparently is now taking bookings from other, I guess, like Comic-Cons and...
Really?
Sure, if you want to even mention... wrestling
is
companies.
There any way
well, listen,
his contract is up?
I don't know. And he may not even really have an official contract with the WWE. He might just be
Does he have a Twitter?
Just come up and show. Apparently he has a Twitter. But anyways, he's asking for an appearance fee, Dave.
Do you place a fucking Undertaker?
Wait. I'm not... Hey, every celebrity has an appearance fee. But do you know how much this motherfucker is asking for per appearance? Go ahead, Dave. Just make one guess on how much it would be to have Undertaker show up at your company or Comic-Con or something like that.
500,000. Higher?
No. Way lower, but I'm surprised you went that high.
I thought it was something ridiculous.
I don't know. Shit, really?
I was originally going to say $1 million. I was like, shit.
Undertaker is asking for $25,000 per appearance outside of the WWE.
Oh, that ain't bad.
What?
The freaking Undertaker. How much appearance fee do you think Hulk Hogan charges?
Not as much as $25,000.
I bet you he does.
No,
if not close to it.
If Hulk Hogan offers $25,000 for appearance, I would laugh in Hogan's face. He's not as relevant as he once was.
You think the Undertaker is right now?
Yes, absolutely.
More than Hogan?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, how many people hate Hulk Hogan already just because they think he's a racist? So,
do you think Undertaker ever wants to go any other place or do any appearances anywhere?
No.
He's like, okay, if you want me to fucking come to your place, pay me $25,000 and I'll come there. That's probably what he says.
What's funny is everybody. What did we get immediately? I saw someone.
Cody
gifts. Cody. Oh, the ear gift. I'm sure Undertaker is immediately getting phone calls from Cody to join All Elite Wrestling. Give me a fucking break, folks. Wake up and smell the coffee. Look, I get it. Some of these wrestlers from the WWE are eventually going to go to AEW. Yes, Dean Ambrose, maybe AJ Styles, maybe Nakamura. Yes, there will be others joining that company. But guys like The Undertaker, a guy who went undefeated at a WrestleMania, the guy that just shows up once a year and gets paid a hefty amount of money, is not going to go to AEW. Wake up, people. Seriously. Like, this dude's a lifer. He's not going anywhere.
Let me ask you this, hypothetically.
Go ahead.
I know it won't happen, but say it did. Would this be the equivalent of Hulk Hogan coming to WCW if Undertaker showed up at AEW?
Yes.
Okay.
I would give it that. Yeah, that's a pretty.
It's a different time too, because Hogan was only like in his 40s when he went to WCW. So that's a little different. But I'm not saying just to wrestle, even just to show up, on a show.
If Undertaker showed up and did something along the lines of being physical, I don't know what I would do. I just don't see it happening. Like, I don't see the Undertaker ever showing up and doing something for All Elite Wrestling. Maybe he'll be in the crowd one night, but I wouldn't see him going anything further than that.
Do you think Undertaker owns the name Undertaker, or do you think it's all Vince? I think he does too.
I think Undertaker pay him $25,000 just to appear on.
They're paying him more than that.
They're going to be having to pay him more than that.
A couple million,
That's just him showing up at your local bar and grill and doing some autograph signings.
Hey, Tony, how much is in the Patreon fund? We can get Undertaker on.
Oh yeah, hey, if you want to donate to our GoFundMe and get Undertaker on the show, we just need about $24,350, and we can have him on the show. Everybody, Undertaker live.
And he lives in Texas
podcast.
So
yeah, we can even have him live in studio.
Yeah, at your house.
Yeah,
and we can play all the video of you talking trash about him. Live in you.
You can watch him choke slam me through a table. There you go. Oh God, I agree with you, DX. How do we know he didn't do this? Because, and I'm sure if Undertaker was going to the Hall of Fame, I think they probably rumors and all that would have been out by now. I'm sure. Because there's, got Meltzer.
Yeah. If his thing was out, yeah.
But what if The Undertaker's going to the Hall of Fame this year?
But don't you think that would have already been
all this shit?
Don't you think that would have been the first thing announced and not the Hart Foundation?
Yeah, but see, no one's been announced yet. The Hart Foundation's been rumored, yes. But maybe they're, keeping it real quiet about this, and maybe.
I'm sorry, that would have already been out though. I think I think Undertaker, if he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, that would have already been done announced. I think.
You think so? Okay, all right, that's a fair point.
I think it would have been because it's the Undertaker. I mean, that would have been the first thing.
Fair point. I can't disagree with you on that. I'm sure if Undertaker was going to be in the Hall of Fame, guys like a Dave Meltzer probably would have already fucking ruined it already. Everyone's super hard to get Undertaker on, get the table. There you go.
Undertaker. To Impact, there you go. Maybe okay, here you go. That'd be hilarious, but no, it's not gonna happen. But can we still use the name Undertaker? Or we have to add like another R on the end. Undertaker. Can you do extra T, an extra R?
But he's not leaving the WWE.
I know.
No, that's what Adam Bomb. It's fucking said. It's motherfucking Undertaker. Him leaving would be huge news, but he's not leaving. That's all. It's all speculation, innuendo, because he just took out. All because he took out WWE out of his bio, that he's automatically going to leave.
I'm sorry, Undertaker. I'm sorry to spoil this for you guys. I apologize. Undertaker does not tweet. He's not running that Twitter.
He might run his Instagram account because Instagram account takes nobody to know how to do that shit. Yeah, I'm sure.
I think his wife takes all those pictures.
Takes pictures and posts.
He doesn't do nothing.
That's no work at all. But for Undertaker to go on there and type tweets, I don't feel like Undertaker's that type of person. But hey, we could all be wrong.
I just don't see Undertaker tweeting. I'm sorry.
So don't expect to see the Undertaker in All Elite. And if I do, I'll eat crow live on stream on the show. More news.
Sting?
Crow on the. I said on the stream. More news.
I know you said coasting.
So you see in the intro. Oh, that's the pictures. Right here, top right corner. Nia Jax versus Dean Ambrose intergender special attraction. We've been talking about. Yeah, I saw that, Adam Bomb. You said that Impact wanted Undertaker, but they picked Christian instead back in 2000. What,
oh, yeah, sure. Sure they did.
As you see in the top corner, Nia versus Dean Ambrose has been advertised for a house show in February. So it looks like this is possibly going to end up happening maybe down the line eventually. Dave, your thoughts on this? Ambrose, Nia Jax?
I fucking hate this. Pardon my French. I hate this. I'm sorry. It's nothing against intergender wrestling because when it's done right, it can be done really good. And this has been like Cage and Tessa Blanchard had a really good match. But this is like, to me, it's just like trying to weaken Dean's stock a little bit. You know, that's what it's trying to do. That's all it is. Absolutely. They're trying to weaken his price tag. Like, oh, okay, you want a guy who just lost to Nia Jax? I mean, and that's what's probably going to happen. She's probably going to roll him up and beat him or knock him out with a punch. You know, something like that stupid stuff. But, man, I feel bad for Dean. He has to put up with all this crap. He had to lose to EC nothing. Hey, where's EC 2-1?
Relax.
You know, where's EC 2-1 at? That's what I want to know. Where's the other two at?
Right? You need to relax with the EC3 talk, all right? Calm down.
EC3 can't even talk.
You need to relax, all right? All right?
Did EC2 take his voice?
We don't need to talk bad about EC3 here, but I do hear I do agree with your opinion on that. Where it seems like they're gonna just put Dean Ambrose in all these stupid sticky situations and just have him lose pretty much majority of his matches until he leaves. This could be
how funny would that be?
Fuck you to Dean Ambrose, I think, kind of.
How funny would this be, though? Say this all was a work, and he doesn't leave at all after, and everyone's thinking he's going to leave. And they do this intergender thing, and he stays after it.
I don't see that happening, but
I don't either. That would be funny as hell if they just did this to make everyone think, oh, he's going to go to AEW. And then he really doesn't. But, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
What are your thoughts?
I don't care about
it. What do you think about this being advertised? Like, do you think we'll see this?
What do you think about it? You hate it?
Look, I'm not a big. I've never been that huge on intergender matches, because of course they're not very much believable. I get it because obviously men usually overpower women for the most part. But with Nia, I get it. She's not the greatest women's wrestler in the world, and she's definitely not the greatest one in the WWE. But with her size and her weight and all that, she looks believable in a way, doesn't she? She looks like she could take a punch from Ambrose, possibly, right?
He's not gonna punch her.
Well, I mean, in a realistic aspect, if you're looking at it as it being real, Nia being as big as she is,
or not.
Could you would assume she can maybe take a punch from Dean. But
the old saying is,
this is what it is like you said, this is WWE's way of saying, all right, you want to leave, you kind of want to make this public. You know what? Fuck you then. You're going to lose, and you're going to be putting people over until you're out. And that's what it definitely seems like. Now, do they hold off to this match until WrestleMania? Or do you think
I think that's what they're doing.
Maybe
I think that's what they're doing. It could, but I think they're doing this just to stick it to Ambrose. Probably put it on the pre-show, and because he's not going to stay, and if he is leaving, and that obviously it seems like that's what they're going with that. They're just going to make him wrestle. If they put him on WrestleMania, who knows? They might not. But I mean, he'll be taking on. But this, in a way, this is a high-profile match too. If they do this, or if it's just for live events, who knows? They might not ever do it on. It could just be live events. But it's a high-profile thing to put someone in to do this. I mean, but I don't know. I hate it. I hate to think of how to. Now, if this was someone, I'm not trying to talk bad about WWE, but I guess I am. Now, if they were going to do this with someone like Jordan Grace, I could see that
What's
being
up,
believable
Architect?
with another
Or what
guy
if?
or
Here's
something
my
like that.
question for
No?
you. A lot of people are already pretty much negative towards this feud, and it could be because it's kind of burying Dean or whatever have you. But what if AEW did this? What if it was a Jordan Grace taking on just a random someone on their roster? Do you think they would get the same heat that their WWE is
No,
getting?
because it seems like the only reason this is happening, it's not doing it because they want to be different and expand the horizon a little bit and try to open that door to that wrestling that's out there on the indies. They're doing it to basically shit on Dean Ambrose. That's the only reason they're doing this. If they were doing this out of the blue, then fine. Okay, if this is R-Truth and Nia Jax gonna have a match, because of what happened at the Rumble. Okay, they're doing something different. Okay, when they did Becky Lynch and Ellsworth, people were like, okay, they're doing intergender wrestling. I'm intrigued to see how this is going to go down. But with Dean Ambrose, it's like they're just trying to bury him. Now with AEW, if they did like Jordan Grace versus anybody on their roster, I mean, to me it would be like they're doing something different. They're not doing it to bury the guy, like it seems like WWE is doing right now with Ambrose.
Still can't see
Yeah,
the
that's
chat
my
architect.
opinion. What do
That's
you
crazy because Jody Mania was able to start seeing the chat tonight. That's crazy. I agree with David, just to bury Dean. Let's just say this has been done before by China. Absolutely. Maybe Kurt
Yeah, but
Hawkins
this is
faces Jax for
different.
his first win. If it's received horribly, where do they go next? That's a good question, because it seems like now Nia Jax, she's worrying about beating up men. She's in the tag team, in the women's tag team match for the titles. I don't know. I don't get
I think the
this.
China thing is a bad comparison because when she first came in, she was already beating up half the guys anyway.
Right,
It's
but it
not like
wasn't.
Nia Jax.
I don't know. It's just different with. I think if it was anyone but Dean, I think people wouldn't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
But seeing that they know where Dean is going, that he's eventually going to leave, that people are not liking it, and I can understand that. I can understand.
Yeah, but to
why
me,
they
I
wouldn't
don't
like it.
think the China scenario. I think it wasn't considered an insult if you lose to China because she was a badass athlete.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I'm not saying Nia's not great or athletic, but I'm just saying there it is. But maybe I am saying that, but. To me, China was on a different level. She was a great athlete. Not a woman's athlete, but she was just a great athlete in general, where she could go out there and hang with the boys. I mean, she won one time. So, she did some first ever woman to be in the men's rumble.
It's not just Dean; it's her character. Okay, that's fair. People just don't like Nia Jax, maybe either. Also, just a reminder: Eric Young was a Knockouts tag team. I remember that, and I hated
him and
it.
ODB.
I hated it. I remember we were doing reviews around that time. Still, Dave, remember that? I was not a big fan of Eric Young as the part of the Impact Women's Champion. Again, thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. We're gonna got a couple of more subjects to talk about, and then we'll be moving on for the night. Thank you. I know we started out late again, so I appreciate you guys popping in and joining us tonight. We had a great conversation before we had the audio issue, and then we're back again. We have 36 live viewers. I believe someone said we were featured on Periscope, but I think we might just be on the front page. But still, thank you, Periscope, for the featured, I guess. Don't forget, we are live on Tuesdays and on on Saturdays as well. If you haven't already, we co-stream Impact Wrestling on Twitch. So jump over to twitch.com twitch.tv /get the tables. You can go over there and follow us there and join in on our watch parties for Impact. Also, next weekend is going to be a very busy weekend for us at Get the Tables. Not only is our Saturday show still scheduled, but we also have a pay-per-view next weekend as well. We got Elimination Chamber, so next Sunday we will also be live as well. So not only Saturday, but you'll get to see our lovely and beautiful faces on Sunday as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, please. So we
go watch our replays.
We can join us on the watch parties, and we have our replays on Twitch as well. Not the watch parties; you're not allowed to save those, but our other shows as well. Periscope fixed my chat problem. Yeah, you and Architect have been having issues with the chat room. I know Jody's recently just got fixed. So is Dean Ambrose off WWE? No, he's not off WWE, but he will be leaving in April. Anyone thinking Dean does this to get some credits with The Rock's production company for some work? You're crazy. BJ, you're crazy. Take your badass athlete point of view and note Ronda trained in MMA versus men. Okay, that's a good point.
What does that have to do with Nia Jax?
They did the same thing to Jeff Jarrett in '99 before he left. They had him lose to China. Absolutely. We touched on that before, DX. And that could be the same thing that happens with Dean. His last match ever in the WWE will him be losing to Nia Jax at possibly the biggest stage of them all.
Do you think that's seen as bad? You think it was seen that bad as Jeff losing to China? No, I don't think it is.
I think it is.
You think it's really? Because I don't. I think China was a.
I don't think this would be worse than Jeff Jarrett's and
yeah. I'm saying this is I'm saying this is worse. I'm saying I don't think it's I don't think it's as bad with Jeff losing to China as it is to Dean losing to Nia.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say.
Maybe the mods are asleep, or I know Babaruski's not in here. Might have to add some more mods to the chat as well. Because Adam Bomb would usually mute them, but he can't see the chat. That's why he can't get all the bots out. And I haven't made Jody back. I know she had I think the thing, Adam Bomb, and it may have worked for Jody, is you have to unfollow me and then follow me back. And that seemed to work for Jody, I think. Maybe you want to talk to her. Excuse me. This is a giant FU to Dean. Absolutely. That's what I feel like it is. So we got a couple of more items to touch on as well. They have made
Superstar
shakeup. We have that as well. But they have announced as well Seth Rollins, everybody, will be on Raw this Monday night. He wasn't on Raw this past week. Apparently, he is battling an injury, and what the WWE plans to do with him is to kind of keep him off TV, keep him out of any physical stuff, and just have him do promos until WrestleMania. A lot of people were asking, why isn't he going to be on the Elimination Chamber? But my question is to Dave and to everybody in the chat, who exactly would Seth Rollins actually face? He's not in really any other current feuds other than Brock, so it makes sense for him not to be on the Elimination Chamber. I know a lot of people would like to see him there who are going live, but it makes sense for not to have him on there. Anything you were looking for Seth Rollins on Monday night, Dave?
No, just to do his whole little rah-rah speech about how he made it, finally. He's going to get to face Brock and bring the title back to Raw. Nothing really. To me, I'm interested in checking out the podcast because he was just on Edgy Christian's podcast. I want to listen to that, so I want to check that out. But other than that, I'm not really too interested in what Rollins is going to do. I did see that, I think, you're going to tell me or not, Becky Lynch is to be on Raw, I believe.
Yes, Becky Lynch.
But Seth Rollins, nothing he can do. Yeah, there's nothing he could do at Elimination Chamber. I mean, Bobby Lashley's booked up. That would be the only other feud he could really do anything with.
No, Kenobi, you're incorrect on that, but you have the match right, but it's not on Raw. They also made a new... Remember, we talked about this on Tuesday, Dave. They have to have a huge marquee title match on the show other than the Elimination Chamber on the Raw side, and that would be Ronda Rousey is announced to face Ruby Riott at Elimination Chamber. So we touched on it on Tuesday night that maybe we'll see this match at Elimination Chamber or maybe on Raw, but it looks like they're going to have it at Elimination Chamber.
It seems like it's weird because I listened to Sasha Banks when she was on Edge and Christian a few weeks ago, and she said she was told like 2 days, like a day before they announced it on Raw that she was going to face Ronda at the Rumble. Like, she was told on a Sunday, wow. Oh, yeah, at the Rumble, you're facing Ronda. I mean, it was, like, out of the blue. He said, like, okay, that was okay. But, yeah, that's what she said about the whole Ronda thing, and it was like, wow, okay. But, yeah, that's interesting how they do that. And it seems like they do that weird booking, like, okay, let's not build nothing up and do anything. 1 week, okay, we're going to do it like this where you don't go in there, and now all of a sudden Ruby Riott's...
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Gonna have to do it.
Kind words there. Papa Smart saying, keep up the good work and join the show. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much over on Twitch.
I feel bad.
Drop us a follow. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, follow us on Twitch too. I feel bad because I don't think Ruby Riott is seen like a Sasha Banks or a Charlotte or a Becky Lynch has seen. I'm afraid she's not going to get that same type of match that they
So
did.
you think Ruby Riott is going to get squashed?
I have a feeling she is. That's what scares me about that because I really like Ruby Riott, and I'm afraid they're going to do it where I hope she is able to put on a good match, or maybe they jump her and the Riot Squad's out there the whole time and they just distract her and all that.
But wouldn't that
And
even
it goes for 10 minutes.
Excuse me. I know it would fit their gimmick, but wouldn't that make Ruby Riott a little bit weak as well? Having her friends out there to help her defeat Ronda or try to defeat Ronda.
That does fit what they've been doing though ever since they've been there. Did it make Ruby Riott look way weaker before when they would help her win?
Yeah, that's true. I get you on that. It just.
I'm just afraid that Ruby's gonna get squashed in like 5 minutes. That's how I'm scared. I hope it's not that short. I really hope she gets a good 10 to 15 minute match, but I don't think she will. I think they're probably going to start off one of the chamber matches is going to start off the pay-per-view. And I'm really hoping Daniel Bryan gets the main event the chamber with his team. Because that, to me, that's a bigger match.
Yeah, it has to
tag with titles.
I don't think, well, I mean, to be fair, they're debuting new titles and it's this women's
Yeah, but does that really deserve the main event over the tag titles?
I agree with you. It should be Daniel Bryan main eventing Elimination Chamber. But with the WWE and how they're trying to push this.
Or no, it'll probably be Ronda and Ruby.
It could be Ronda as well.
Ronda.
It could be Ronda as well. Very good point there. I hope Becky comes out and costs Ronda the match. DX.
Why would she do that? That makes no sense.
Maybe it loses by I don't know, maybe disqualification or something. But I that would be interesting to see if she did kind of come out there, maybe try to distract Ronda.
I mean, you do have two big three marquee matches, I guess, on this card because you have Ronda. I guess you want to call her a marquee. I guess you can. But you have the WWE Championship in the chamber. You have the Tag Team Championship in the chamber. Does this mean Auska's going to get in the match where she's going to take out Mandy Rose? To me, that's what I would love to see her in. I don't know what they're going to do with Auska. Who knows? But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Nobody knows what they're going to do with Auska because I think everybody would love to see her get her revenge on Charlotte. But
I mean, for the chamber, yeah, that'll be interesting.
But it looks like
it seems like that's going to be a triple threat.
Some type of triple threat, fatal 4-way type of match at WrestleMania, which is a shame. I don't know. Ruby Riott, Ronda Rousey at Elimination Chamber for the Raw Women's title. We also, like you said, we got the Tag Team Women's Championships to be decided in the Elimination Chamber. We also have the World title to be decided in the Elimination Chamber. And that's the only other matches that have been announced, right? Oh, we got fucking Shane McMahon and The Miz taking on the Usos. That's about it. Also,
unless the revival matches at the chamber, I don't know.
Becky Lynch, who was supposedly suspended last week on Raw, has been invited back to Raw by the McMahons. What do you?
Which one?
I'm not sure who they said, if it was just by the McMahon family or if it was by a certain someone, but I think it was just the McMahon family.
Shane? I mean, it would make more sense if she hits Vince this time.
Now, yeah. What happens on Raw, Dave? Give us a bold prediction on what happens between Becky Lynch and the McMahons on Monday night.
Whoever it is. I mean, if it's Vince McMahon or Shane, maybe they say Vince for later on, but maybe it's Shane. And then she clocks Shane. I'm sure he'll love that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's probably gonna do something stupid again and keep refusing the whole, doctors thing. And then I still think it's gonna happen like weeks before WrestleMania. And would it really hurt them to keep Becky Lynch off TV for a few weeks? Probably not, because it's not WrestleMania. Still has to go through 2 pay-per-views. We still have 2 pay-per-views to get through.
Said that Tozawa was supposed to take Buddy Murphy as well. For the Cruiserweight
I seen that.
Forgot about that match. Thank you there, Bottom Bomb.
DX
asked in the chat, do we think Becky will give the McMahons a stunner? Do you think there'll be some more physical action on Monday between her and the McMahons?
I do. Whoever it is, if it's Stephanie again, that'd be interesting. Or she'll come out with security.
Here's a bold prediction. Mike Kenobi says Becky Stone Cold Stunner to Vince or Shane. They're probably going to tell her to go get cleared. Here's my prediction. I think she's going to try to hit someone again, and she's going to cold clock Vince McMahon. and then he may even fire her. Imagine if they did that type of storyline where they fired
You know what I think
her
they could be doing?
and then put Charlotte into the match. Imagine if they did that.
They said, we'll give you your match, but you got to sign like a waiver, like they did to Stone Cold with his broken neck after the Owen Hart situation, where you got to sign a waiver to wrestle.
Yeah, because
they might do something like that.
What's been the whole rumor and innuendo has been
triple threat
at WrestleMania. It still seems to be that's going to be the match that they're going to have at WrestleMania. Triple threat. So you're going to have to assume that something's going to happen to where the match changes. And then
but why would Charlotte? I guess because Charlotte was number 2, so they'll say she can get the Rumble spot, and then she can challenge. And she was the last one out, so she could challenge Ronda if she wanted to. And then it turns into a triple threat for some reason.
Let's see. Adam Bomb says, here's a bold prediction. Vince says she's cleared. Okay, all right.
Or Vince says, you know what? If you sign a waiver, you can have your match.
Oh, yeah, Batman. Absolutely. I agree with you. He says it's Stephanie, basically the Vince and Stone Cold angle, but with women. Absolutely. We've talked about that on the show since they've kind of started this storyline, that it's going to be, they're trying to resemble in their own little way that, Becky Lynch is the Stone Cold of the women's division. She doesn't give a shit. She'll get physical with whoever. She'll do whatever she wants. She doesn't trust anybody. She's definitely doing that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they eventually get Charlotte into the match, because she kind of already said that she wants to be in it on Tuesday night on SmackDown. What do they go to get her involved in the match? You would have to think, to me, what will end up happening is somehow maybe Becky Lynch gets fired, kayfabe wise, and then somehow gets reestablished into the match. Maybe she starts starting havoc on Raw and SmackDown each week.
You know what you could do?
Finally give her the match.
You could have Vince McMahon being the guy who does it. They could say she's fired or she's not in the match, and then towards the very end, Vince McMahon throws a curveball and says Becky Lynch is in the match and just shocks everybody.
Maybe Becky drives a forklift to yeah, right.
But I think they want to play it where Vince is like the good guy savior for Becky Lynch, and he makes it where she's in the match and everyone else is saying she's fired or not, or they try to fire her and Vince says no.
Start throwing Guinness beer at Becky. Yeah, that's funny. Thank you for Papa Smark and for More King PHXL for following us on Twitch. That makes us over 30 followers, Dave, on Twitch. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Appreciate you guys' support over on the Twitch. And thank you guys for your support tonight, man. We really killing it tonight. 1,500 total viewers tonight. Thank you so very much.
Hope you guys are on the East Coast.
Don't forget, everybody, I finally got... we're going to touch on one more last item, and then we'll move on for tonight and be back with you on Tuesday. But I finally touched with the T-shirt guy. Wrong scene. And our shirts will be in my possession by the end of the day on Monday, according to UPS Tracker. So hopefully I'll have my shirts in by Monday night, no later than Tuesday. What's up, Bot? How you doing tonight? We already have about 4 or 5 people pretty much already in line to get shirts. We have Mr. Bill Apter himself, the legendary Bill Apter, asked for a shirt. We have Brandon Apter. We have the Bot. I think Dave and Alex asked for one. We have the Architect. A lot of people have been asking for t-shirts. Brandon Catino, who's a big fan of the show, has already bought one. You saw the picture on Twitter. So if you're interested in a shirt, let us know before they sell out. I'm not sure when I'll be getting some more t-shirts. But if you're interested in a t-shirt, please hit us up on the DMs. And we can definitely work something out. We have small, medium, large, extra large, and double X. I only got about 4 in each size because I wasn't sure how good we would do with these t-shirts. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't have very high hopes on selling a lot of t-shirts, so I didn't purchase a lot. But hey, if you guys are interested, I can always get some more. But I do appreciate everybody's support, regardless if you get a t-shirt or not. You guys have been very awesome to us in 2018. 2018 was a very big year for Get the Tables podcast. It was probably our most successful year, and we do appreciate everybody. That's why we're coming out with shirts. Not only will I be selling them, but I will do giveaways with them. I'm thinking about doing a care package, maybe sometime at the end of this month or next month. That's kind of like a WrestleMania care package. Not only would you get a T-shirt, but you'll get other things in line as well. But just kind of a thank you to everybody for y'all's support. I really do appreciate everybody's support you guys do with us, even if it's just coming into the show and interacting in the chat room. It's been great. And thanks to Dave as well. He's been my writing partner for I don't know how long now, and he's been on the show every week with me as well. So without Dave, we wouldn't be successful either. So appreciate everybody's support and love that you guys give us. Oh, thanks, Bot, for the super heart. Appreciate that. The guy on that shirt looks like the love child of Patrick Stewart and a walrus. A lot of people say he looks like Lars Sullivan. I think he kind of resembles him a little bit. Tony started GoFundMe so we can get Taker on the show for 5 minutes. Oh my God. 25,000. That would take me forever to save up, I would assume. But that's crazy appearance fee for him. But it's you can kind of understand why. He's a big timer. All right, so last but not least, we didn't touch on it yet, but it's also pretty much huge news. Let me get this bot out of the. There you go, everybody. The bot is gone. It's the new Dave now. I'm sorry, no, not that bot. Our bot will never get blocked, but it's the porn bot. The new Dave now, says Kenobi. Superstar shakeup. You kind of touched on it last weekend a little bit. I think someone in the chat kind of mentioned it, that it was a rumor going around. Well, this past week, they finally announced it. It's called the International Superstar Shakeup, only because they're going to be in Canada. It's in Montreal. Monday and Tuesday, they'll be having drafts on Raw and on SmackDown. It's happening April 15th and 16th. So about 2 weeks after WrestleMania 35. So very interesting, huh, Dave? Any bold predictions on who we may see start switching sides to SmackDown, switching sides to Raw, maybe even some call-ups? Because usually on the Monday after WrestleMania, we start seeing some new guys pop up. Do you think we're still going to see that, or do you think they wait till the draft?
I think they're going to still do something special on the Monday after Raw, or even Tuesday after, or Monday after WrestleMania. But it's interesting because, you know, that they're doing it 2 weeks after and they're doing it in Montreal. What I would love to see them do is make it for all the brands, you know. Let's be able to take it from all the shows, you know. Does that mean 205 Live guys should get moved, which we already seen? I don't know if it's permanent that Gulak is moving to NXT, but that would be interesting. But, I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see some interesting – I would like to see more guys, you know, get like go to NXT aren't really being used. You know, that'd be interesting. But, yeah, I think the Aleister Black, you know, I like that. Velveteen Dream, those are obvious guys who can get moved and called up, you know. Do you think they should do a draft again or just do like they're doing shakeups?
It looks like they're just doing a shakeup, but I think all brands are included. So it's going to be interesting if we get UK guys brought up or what. You know what would have been cool if they did a roster shakeup on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Yeah,
NXT could bring back guys down to NXT.
Who's to say that shakeup doesn't involve like Finn Balor showing up at 205 Live?
He's already had his debut match on Monday, so yeah, it's definitely possible. Mike Kenobi puts Walter to NXT, Shayna to SmackDown.
I don't think Walter's leaving the UK.
WC Miller puts Usos on Raw. I could see Murphy going to SmackDown. Okay, DIY as well, going to SmackDown as well. AJ to Raw, Finn to SmackDown. If
I'm sorry,
Braun
you're
goes
gonna
to
get.
SmackDown, it's over. He's winning every title.
You know what? You know what you're getting. No, it is all for the Fox deal. They're gonna take every big star they got and put them on Raw or SmackDown.
Absolutely.
They're gonna Ronda Rousey. I can even see if Brock Lesnar's still there. Brock Lesnar's gonna be a SmackDown person as well too if he's still there around, because they're gonna want Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey basically to be even Seth Rollins probably too, to make them like the head people of the Fox deal, to make them kind of like Ronda especially. Fox wants Ronda, so if they have Ronda, can showcase Ronda weekly on there.
Yeah,
So
I
that
mean, maybe
month,
that's
few
possibly that
months,
could happen. That maybe she loses and
the title.
they still draft her over there. That's a big possibility. That could
Yeah.
definitely
I
that
mean,
could
well,
definitely
it's me.
happen.
They want this SmackDown to have the best stars on there,
What's up,
because
Budweiser?
SmackDown, people might not like to hear this. SmackDown will basically become the A show, literally, because they're on Fox, and they're going to want all the big stars they can. And Fox want them to change up how they do things, so they want more sports instead of this
Thank you for the
hokey
super
crap they
hearts,
do.
Budweiser.
So
Appreciate that, man. Very kind
I
of
could
you.
definitely see Rollins and I don't know who else they got. Her big, like, I could see all the big stars end up on SmackDown. Hell, you could see guys like Daniel Bryan, I guess, move to Raw. I could see that. He hasn't really been on Raw at all. That would be interesting to see a Daniel Bryan move to Raw, because he's mostly been a SmackDown guy the last 3 or 4 years.
It's going to be interesting to see what actually happens, because there's going to be a lot of people speculating, and the rumors are going to be going around on who's going to move, who's going to stay, especially with this whole TV deal.
Yeah, who would you want to move?
That's a good question.
Not because it's going to Fox and it's obvious who's going to leave, but who do you want to see go to
if I was
switch
a
those?
WWE and I wanted to switch things up, not just because I'm not trying to put the TV deal in line, I would move Ronda to SmackDown. I would move Rollins to SmackDown. I would move the Revival to SmackDown. I would move Sasha or Bayley to SmackDown. I would also probably move. Trying to think of another. Braun. I would move Braun to SmackDown. I would even move Baron Corbin to SmackDown. I'm trying to think of someone else maybe that they could add on to SmackDown.
Lashley?
Maybe Bobby. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Now, if I was on SmackDown moving to Raw, I'd move AJ to Raw. I would move. Also Finn Balor to SmackDown as well, or 205 Live, either one. Raw, I'd move Styles over, the Usos over, Sanity over, Randy Orton over.
So would you basically just swap rosters?
I would make the biggest swap they've done. I would Randy Orton. I know unless they feel like he can, gather an audience on Friday night and they feel like they need him, I'd move him to Raw. I'd move Styles to Raw. I would move.
But then you couldn't get that match that everyone wants to see: Seth Rollins and AJ Styles.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, it's just to me that AJ Styles has kind of ran dry over on SmackDown Live. Maybe if you bring in new opponents, yeah, sure, you can kind of keep them. But if they're going to be losing these big names from Raw to SmackDown Live, Raw is still going to be on a syndicated show on a Monday night, a big night.
Yeah.
They're not going to just tank it. They're not going to just say, fuck it and just let Raw rot. They're going to need to get some big guys still on that show to make it still a watchable show when Monday Night Football comes back.
Yeah, because Raw is still Raw.
Right.
No matter what. It's still Raw. SmackDown's something completely different. You almost don't need, for Raw to still draw good numbers, you almost don't need to still have the big names, know?
They may not care for Raw as much as they do now, once the move actually kind of settles in. But they're not going to just say, fuck it, if Raw gets 1 million viewers or so, who gives a shit? They're gonna do everything they can to still, compete on Monday night. And Styles is a big name. I could definitely see him move to Monday night. What else? Samoa Joe, Shinsuke. Yeah, they need new fresh faces.
Shinsuke's still there.
Yeah, if Shinsuke's still there, of course. But they need.
I mean, I can even see him like taking Auska too, put her on Raw. You know, take everyone who's basically on SmackDown and move them to Raw because they're not really drawing the numbers they want. You take Ronda Rousey, even if Brock Lesnar gets a deal and he could show up on SmackDown again and just be on SmackDown, you know, whether he's fighting for a title or not, that would be huge ratings. Brock Lesnar on SmackDown appearance, that would be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brock and Ronda on SmackDown. I mean, there's so many big scenarios they could do from Raw to SmackDown because right now, Raw really is lacking stars. SmackDown really isn't, but it's not really helping.
Rollins, Balor, and EC3 to SmackDown, or Nakamura and Joe to Raw. Nakamura won't leave, says Adam Ball. The bar to Raw, yeah, I could like the WWE just needs to definitely spice things up, and the whole rumors already has been they're not gonna just not keep any big names on SmackDown, so they're gonna move all the big guns to SmackDown like a Raw.
Yeah, definitely, because like Raw doesn't need
Strowman, probably maybe even Brock. They'll move him over to SmackDown Live, even if we don't even see Brock. Imagine if they just announced Brock drafted to SmackDown. Imagine the buzz that they would get for that announcement alone. Oh my gosh! SmackDown.
Or Ronda. I mean, because Fox loves them some Ronda.
Oh yeah, Ronda's I think is a lock to move to SmackDown Live. Absolutely.
And having Rollins there, and would they switch championships too?
What's up?
I mean, or would the champion stay? So say Rollins does win the title.
In here, man. Appreciate everything you help us out with on the channel, dude. Thank you.
You know, say Rollins does win the title. Would they switch titles as well, too? Would they have their champions go like they have before in the past? Where the Universal title, we look back when the World Champion could go to SmackDown and would go to the other show, and they would just switch titles for that show. Would they do that? I mean, that would be interesting.
Adam Awesome, I agree with you as well. He said, I'd prefer to see the bar just be disbanded altogether. They're super boring. I don't know if they're super boring, but their time has already ran its path. Separate the two. You got fucking just put Cesaro on Raw. Leave Sheamus on SmackDown if you wanted to go that route. These two guys are phenomenal singles wrestlers. We all know that. And I think right now the Bar have done everything that they can in the tag division, won it multiple times, pretty much faced everybody. Even on the Raw roster, even if they moved to Raw, they've pretty much faced everybody on Raw as well because they were tag team champions on Raw as well. So yeah. I agree with you. I think, having them to break up and then them go their own way, I agree with you. I would love that.
Break them up. Yeah, have one stay and one go. That would make perfect sense.
Yeah, because just have them, not even really break up, but maybe, they just get drafted to separate brands. Maybe Raw just drafts Cesaro instead.
Can you imagine if they did like Cesaro to NXT or Sheamus to NXT or Cesaro or Sheamus to like NXT UK? How cool would that be? Seeing Walter chop his chest, that'd be awesome.
Ouch. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap.
What about Pete Dunne? I mean, he has to be one of these to get called up there.
Oh yeah, Pete Dunne, maybe to NXT full time instead of being on UK as well. It's gonna be an interesting show that night when we are live after that International Superstars shakeup.
Well, we still got a while for that.
Yeah, we got a couple of months for that, so it's going to be fun. Raw this Monday night, everybody. We will be live tweeting Raw over at
any matches announced?
At the Get the Tables Twitter account. Not that I saw. No matches announced yet. Just that Becky Lynch will be on Raw and Seth Rollins as well. So we'll be live tweeting, like I said, over on the Get the Tables Twitter account.
The Go Home Show.
Yeah, the Go Home Show to Elimination Chamber. So if you haven't already, go give us a follow over on Twitter. We're very interactive on Twitter. Retweet pretty much everything you guys interact with us on there. So if you haven't already, follow us at Get the Tables on Twitter. Same as on Twitch. If you jump over on Twitch /Get the Tables, you'll find us live on Twitch every Tuesdays and Fridays and Saturdays. Because on Fridays we co-stream Impact Wrestling. Dana versus Natalya has been announced for Raw. Ooh.
Oh wow. I'm tuning in for that.
I'm excited for that match. I can't tell you how
Tony,
excited.
Let me ask you something really quick before we end the show. Okay, it would probably benefit SmackDown more, but what if they stop the band where you can just go to both shows if you want to? What if they just make both shows just like super shows where they have everyone on all the shows?
No, they could.
That would help. They would help SmackDown's rating. It must be pointless to have this brand split, but whatever. I mean, but you would have all the big stars on one show. on both shows. Especially for SmackDown. If you had everyone, like from Raw and SmackDown on SmackDown, which they're going to be there obviously on the big show when they do the shakeup, I would assume, or the debut. Not the shakeup, but the debut. You figure everyone would have to be there. At least you would think that's what they'd want. They'd want to have some kind of super show.
For the super kind words there. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Would that water it down even more though? Like, what's the point of the brand split then?
Yeah, probably. They'll end up probably going that route if maybe the Fox ratings don't, do very well. But we'll see and find out what happens there on Fox. It's gonna be fun. Still got to decide when we're gonna go live with the new change as well. Are we gonna talk about Daniel Bryan ruining the champ? Oh, we already talked about that.
I love that title. I think it's awesome.
I like 2 world champions though. I like the 2 world champions, but I think the tag division and maybe the women's needs only 1. But who are we to complain? WWE seems to be doing all right for themselves financially, so we'll just kind of...
Yeah, but if you did go one tag... I don't know if we're trying to end the show, but if you did go one tag division, that would definitely cut the tag teams down even more because there would be guys who wouldn't get shots.
Yeah, or guys not on TV in general at all.
Yeah, the Miz and Shane wouldn't be the world's greatest tag team champions right now.
Yeah, that would be a
Insanity wouldn't get used even more.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Have a great night, everyone. From Jody Mania, thank you, Jody. See you on Tuesday. When does it change to Fox? In September. A couple of more months.
October.
Yeah, I'm sorry, October. Thank you. October. Not for a couple of more months, but it'll be here as a snap of a finger. Going to be like, holy fuck, it's already September. Holy shit. Women's Tag Division will be on both shows. Yes, it will, and that'd
be good for both shows too.
That's a good thing. Let's do a quick little shout out for everybody who came in tonight. We got Kevin, Alice, Jeffrey, Cross, Derek, Adam, Awesome, Kenobi, Mr. Budweiser, Scorpion. I think this is a bot. Yep. Chauncey, Rick. Rick. Oh, Richie Vargas. Excuse me, man. Lala, Eduardo, Mads Fan, Ted. We had Bobaruski in here earlier. Who else was in here? We had, let me see. Did I miss anybody? Alice, thank you for coming in here. Let's go to the Super Hearts. Thank you for the bot, of course. Budweiser and Kenobi for the Super Hearts. Spees for the Super Hearts in the last show before we had our technical difficulties. Appreciate everybody's compliments tonight. Very, very nice of you guys to tell us how good the show was tonight and all that. Very, very nice of you guys. Thank you for the compliments. We do appreciate that. So next week, everybody, mark on your calendar. I go by Ricardo. Okay, I'll call you Ricardo, my friend. I appreciate that. Smart Spot. Thank you, DX. You're absolutely right. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for reminding me. Don't forget, next week, Tuesday, Raw and SmackDown Live recap show. Friday, we'll be co-streaming Impact Wrestling. Hopefully we won't have any audio issues like we did this past Friday, which we were finally able to figure it out. Uncaged, a pay-per-view on Twitch, basically. We have Saturday night, our Shoot the Shit, but we'll be touching on Elimination Chamber, predictions, kind of go over Impact a little bit over with you guys, just in case you missed it, and 205 Live and NXT as well. And then Sunday night, everybody, pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber. We'll be live Sunday night, touching on Elimination Chamber, giving you all the results, the recap, our opinions, and what you guys also thought of the show as well. Fun night tonight. I apologize for us being on so late. I went to the Alliance football game tonight. Didn't end until almost around 10. Hurried up and got my ass home, set up everything, got Dave on here. We had technical issues with the first show, but we kicked ass in the second one. We had over 1,700 viewers, peaked at 49 viewers tonight, Dave. We had 49 viewers in the chat at one time tonight. Excuse me.
Maybe we should start doing later more often.
Yeah, again, thank you guys so very much. Dave, any last words? So we're live again on Tuesday.
I'll see you guys Tuesday.
Yep, Chamber is this Sunday. Did you see the NXT air guitar? Man, that dude.
The better question, did you see that match after that?
Oh,
that was the match.
Gulak and Riddle was good. I know we didn't touch on NXT tonight, but we'll get into it more next week. But yeah, hell of a match between Gulak and Riddle, and I can't think of the dude's name that played the air guitar. That shit was, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I know a lot of people didn't, but that dude has a lot of charisma for going out there and getting over with a fucking air guitar and air drums and him just screaming like that. That was just funny as hell. But yeah.
A lot of balls too.
Yeah.
Because look at that, go out there and say, "Hey, we want you to go out here and do this."
Yeah. Basically,
And what if it doesn't work? You know, I mean, and
he
you're
did it.
just
I mean,
like, okay,
he
an
was
idiot.
killing it, man. He was killing it. Loved every minute of it. Chamber is a week from tomorrow, is it? Let me look it up real quick.
It's next Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, next Sunday, exactly.
A
Next
week
weekend.
from tomorrow.
Yeah, Eric Bugenhagen. Yes, that dude. That dude was just absolutely great, man. He's basically the new No Way Jose of NXT, I guess you can say. But yeah, that's about it, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. We will end you guys with some more Kenny Omega. Appreciate all the support you guys give us on a weekly basis, and thank you for all the new followers on Twitch tonight. And if you're new to the show over on the Periscopes, hit that follow button so you get those notifications every time we are live on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. Yeah, a week from today, it's Sunday already. Yeah, it is Sunday, basically. Yeah, it's past midnight over here, too. So, again, thank you guys so very much for staying up late with us. Lala and LA, thank you guys. That's very nice of you to say that. Appreciate the support. Thank you for always coming in here and saying such nice things. Y'all guys are awesome. Y'all are really making our night over here. Making us blush over here at Get the Tables. Thank you guys for all the nice comments. We'll be back with you guys on Tuesday. Don't forget Friday on Twitch, co-streaming Impact Wrestling. Saturday night prediction show. Sunday night Elimination Chamber. It's going to be a huge night for everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. And thank you guys for sticking with us with such a late start time and going kind of late tonight as well. Appreciate it all. Love you all. Have a great night. Have a great Sunday. Because we want to see you on Tuesday night. Thank you so very much, everybody.